The group members of this team are Jaina,
Mathias,
Jack Wilson.
Yes,
Our presentation today is on leadership theory, and the leader we have chosen is Jose Mourinho, who is a football manager. Okay, the content of our page today will be the Jose Mourinho background, the related leadership, path goal theory, team leader theory, situation theory, and transformation theory, and also what can business learn from Jose Mourinho. So this is a brief background of Jose Mourinho. His full name is Jose Mourinho dos Santos. Mourinho is basically a football manager and also regarded as one of the best in the world. He took a lot of European teams to the Champions League, to the League Cup. This is a Jose Mourinho path goals and the year he started and ended from different clubs. So now I'm gonna talk about the path goal theories of Jose Mourinho. So Jose Mourinho on path goal theories. So what is path goal theories? The theory is how leader motivate their members to accomplish designated goal by offering them reward after the achievement, removing obstacle, and also verifying toward those goals. Those state goal of this leadership theory is to increase employee performance. So a lot of managers use that to increase the employer performance. So how did Jose Mourinho motivate his players? How did he get the best out of his players? So there's an interview from Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which was a player under Jose Mourinho in Inter Milan, who said that before the game, Mourinho used to motivate them by telling them that they're going to war. They need to be hungry like lion. So that helped them to get them motivated to go to the pitch and to face other team. And once he do that, the adrenaline is popping in their body and they're ready to fight for him. There's also other managers that disagree the way Mourinho motivate his player, because sometimes also Mourinho will criticize other manager to his players, so he make the player hate the other manager. So by hating the other managers, that motivate them even more to fight for him and to be other team. So a ex-Real Madrid player called Valdado say, leader who take a power like Jose Mourinho is not for a long term, it's for a short period of time. So they can only be effective for a very short period of time. That one, and we see the example as when he was at Real Madrid. He was good at the beginning, but it failed to carry on his leadership.
Team leadership and Jose Mourinho. The definition by Northhouse is the function of leadership theory is to help the group accomplish its goals by monitoring and diagnosing the group and taking the requisite action. Jose Mourinho's team leader skills show effective in the team's performance as well as their success. He treats all his players equally, he gets to know them all on an individual level, showing them they are well respected. For example, when flying for an away match once, he flew all the players business class while he flew in economy to show that no one is better than anyone within the team. Knowing the players on an individual level benefits Mourinho as it allows him to know each player's strengths and weaknesses, therefore allowing him to act appropriately within each match for each team member. Furthermore, to the previous point, he identifies the strengths and weaknesses of rival teams, allowing him to create different strategies according to the competitive position. Jose Mourinho focuses on goals for his team, setting new goals, meeting those goals as a team, and ensuring these goals are constantly at high standards. Connecting with individuals is key for Mourinho, as he states, football is a human science. It is important to know staff and players as individuals. However, not everyone agrees with Jose Mourinho's leadership style. George Valdano criticises Mourinho's leadership style, saying that it is just a short-term fix and is not 100% effective.
Situational leadership. The theory was developed by Hershey and Blanchard in 1969. Hershey and Blanchard's theory was based on Redden's 1667 3D management. The approach has been refined several times since. The situational approach has been used widely as a benchmark for training and development in organizational leadership. The underlying message of the theory is that a leader or manager should be able to adapt his or her leadership style to any given situation. Unlike other theories, the situational approach focuses on the employees rather than the employee. When Jose takes a new job at a new club, he takes time to connect with every member, from the £50 superstar to the backroom staff. Jose likes to know everyone's on a personal level rather than just a name on a bit of paper. He wants to know people's drives. This enables Jose to judge the true mood of the group and tailor his style of communication and leadership to each person. The theory also suggests that instead of a leader just using one style of leadership, to succeed as a leader, he or she should use different leadership styles within different situations. In the course of a season, many players will drift in and out of form. When this happens, it is Jose Mourinho's job to make sure the players that are in top form stay there, and the ones that aren't get into top form. The ways in which Jose achieves this is by using the two-dimensional situational theory, supportive and directive, also known as relationship and task. If a player is on top form, he will have high competence and high commitment. Therefore, Mourinho's style will be low support and low direction. An example of a player is Oscar. However, if a player is on low form, he will have a low competence and a high commitment. In this case, Jose Mourinho's style will be high direction and high support. An example of this would be Torres. Effective leaders are those who recognise that employees need to adapt their style to meet the needs of others. In the case of Juan Mata, Chelsea's player of the season last year, has been dropped by Jose Mourinho because he doesn't fit his style. In the leadership theory, in the theory of leadership situation, Jose should adapt his style to get the best out of every player, rather than just dropping them.
Transformational leadership on Jose Mourinho. According to Northouse, is a process that changes and transforms people. According to Burns, is a process of engaging with others to create a connection that increases motivation or motive of follower and tries to help follower reach their fullest potential. Transformational leadership factor, the 4 I's. Followers see the leader as an ideal role model who have the ability to inspire and motivate them by focusing on their needs and feelings in order to bring out their very best effort by allowing them to be innovative and creative. Mourinho totally understands that. According to his staff and player, he is someone very pragmatic, enigmatic, and inspirational. In this next slide, this is some situation where we can conclude that Mourinho is a good example of transformation leadership. Mourinho treats his team as an extension of his family. The way he monitors and communicates with his players is very innate to him. He communicates to them by sending them memos and motivational messages through email and text. Mourinho is very attentive to their needs. He is very involved emotionally with his player. Mourinho said, "I have no problem to kiss, cry with, or kick my player. Everything belongs to the family. I learned this from my own family. We are open to be criticized by my kids, and the same applies to my player." Mourinho also helps them to reach their fullest potential. Frank Lampard, one of his players, used to say, "He made me the player I am." Now we're gonna play a video related to everything we previously said about Jose Mourinho leadership.
I think I'm a special one. He began in the shadows.
Jose stood behind me, listened, learned, looked, wrote, remembered.
When he got his chance, he didn't just grasp it, he throttled it.
Relatively early in his career and what he's won so far. If he carries on with that, then he is going to be up there with the greatest and possibly the one who on top of all of them.
Mourinho is a great coach and so thorough with details. He prepares for games like nobody else.
I'm not putting pressure on you about we have to win. I don't want to put that kind of pressure, but we cannot lose. We cannot lose.
I don't think Ferro is a word in his dictionary.
His players would do anything for him.
was his best thing, I think, that he had a great connection with all the players.
He has the credentials to be the best we've ever seen.
So what can a business learn from Jose Mourinho leadership style? I think the most important thing is to, as a leader, is to connect with your followers. So that's what Jose Mourinho used as a main style in his leadership theories. So get to know everybody in your area, in your work, in your job, and it will be the communication between each of us should be better. So with more communication, you guys can achieve a better. Okay, the second most important thing is specify your mission clearly and the behavior required to achieve it. So if you're manager of the organization, you have to specify where you stand. You have to make sure your employee understand where you stand before you even begin anything. So I think that's a key point that Mourinho used when he go to a club. Is basically when he get to the club, we make sure that all the players around him, all the people around him understand what his goal is, what he want to achieve, and by doing that way, everybody can follow you in the right direction. The third point we have here is all the world a stage. So basically, when you manage a company, you have to be careful on whatever you say out on public, even when you are with your family or friend, because all these things can catch you up in the future. So whatever you say, you have to make sure you say a positive thing about your company, say a positive thing about your employees all the time. So we have an example of Frank Lampard who say, since Mourinho came in the club, he make them believe that they are better than what they are, and also he brought my confidence to the level he had never been before. So basically, since Mourinho came at the club, he managed his players, he managed Frank Lampard to be at the level that he never been before. So that encouraged them to work for him as they never worked for another manager. So thank you for watching, and this is basically our bibliography. So for more information, click here. Thank you.